I've been to California, seen the sights and people there.
Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Grace.
And we're California Travel Videos.
And today we are entering the Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
Going through Jackson Hole to see what all the hype is. We've heard it's really beautiful. We are on roads where there's a lot of signs that say to watch for elks or moose or deer. So hopefully we'll have some excitement, but not too much excitement.
We're having excitement already. We've got 10-degree grades. I mean 10-degree grades. And this goes on for 5 miles. And I let the vehicles pull over and we're near the edge of the cliffs. Grace, don't you think there's some drama and excitement?
Definitely. I was holding on to the rail.
Fingernail impressions.
Yeah, I was mothering Kaliki, just looking down here.
Saying your prayers. There's nothing wrong with that. So
turn left on West Broadway.
Okay, Broadway. We are downtown, not really. So we are. It says we arrive to the campground. I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it's somewhere about an hour into the park.
Brake lights.
And so yeah, we'll be seeing that up pretty soon. It says we arrive at 4:36, and the current time is 4:28. So a lot of junctions coming up. What's that? 26, 89, 189, 191. Wow, we are in Megalopolis here.
We are at the crossroads.
And of course, now that we have e-bikes, we look over on the side and we see,
yeah, beautiful
bike
path. Beautiful bike path. I asked Michael, what's worse than running into a moose with your big RV? Running into a moose with your bicycle.
That's right. We are having a great trip here today. Beautiful weather. There is one thing. This is getting towards the middle of August, and there is a lot of traffic here. Don't know why. I would have thought the kiddies would have been back in school. Maybe some get a little later. Could just be commerce. I don't know. What do you think?
Welcome to Jackson, Wyoming.
Hey, hey.
Is this where Johnny Cash and June Carter went?
We'll find out soon. Okay, peace out. Bye for now.
Campground on the right.
Gros Ventre. First she said gross, now she's saying Gros Ventre. I think that's probably close.
Gros Ventre.
Yeah, I like that. Get a little French.
We've got our fingers crossed that they'll have something open for us on this Sunday night or Monday night? Monday night.
Regulars are all saying, well, but you got to get here at noon when everybody's checking in.
Right.
Everybody's checking out. Otherwise, you're snoozing, you're losing. Okay, we are on the road again, and we're leaving our campground area. Beautiful, looks like might be a couple hundred spots there. Had no problem getting in, and we paid for 2 days just in case. Senior discount, gold card, 15 bucks a night. Can't beat that. No electricity in our spot. Some of them do have electricity, but we're okay with generator. Okay, I pulled off the road. There's a couple cars and some people down here by the water. I'm wondering if we're going to see maybe some moose or bear. So I'm just going to carefully and quietly look around here. Nothing that I see. How about down this way? I wouldn't be surprised if there's something in there. But you know how it is when you're out, there's probably 10 things that see you for every one thing that you see of them. So I'm trying to be quiet here, but no, I don't think there's anything here right now. I'm not going to go bludgeoning down myself. So it looks like so far I'm just out for a snipe hunt, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. There were 2 bears that were in the campground last night, I was told by the ranger. Said, don't leave your food out. Good morning, friends. Well, we are in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and we had a great evening here last night at a nearby campground. And if you look in the background behind us there, hopefully you can see a little bit of the ski slopes up there. I think we're going to go into Jackson, maybe spin around, and then how about some bike rides?
We've got a beautiful bike path and we are going to ride it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it goes 40, 50 miles or more. I don't think our legs or the batteries are going to take us quite that far. But how about 2 or 3 hours worth? Maybe till about lunchtime?
We'll see.
Okay, we're going to hit the road. See you there. So Grace is going to let me go ahead and check on my theory that this, I don't know, maybe about 200-foot high hill that goes on for about 3 or 4 miles and then makes turns. And I'm thinking, oh, it must be man-made and a lake on the other side. But we'll see what happens when I get to the top. She's saying, yeah, you can let me know. And if there's any elks or bear or moose, I will have a low profile. That's a good little hike up there. Oh my goodness. It's just a plateau. Nope. Just a plateau. Goes for miles and miles. It's pretty much all, I guess, 200 feet above the valley floor. Hello down there. Hi. Give me a big wave. You want to come up and get the view? You'll see it in the video in post-production.
I will.
Okay, I'll be down in a minute.
Okay.
Now we know why the chicken crossed the road. Same reason Michael climbed the hill. Thinking there must be something important on the other side. Okay. I got through the easy stuff. Also, it's kind of more comforting knowing that it's you can see all the way to the dirt in this section, where some of the stuff I went through before, you'd say, well, I don't think there should be rattlesnakes at this level. Okay, here is the Art Center in Jackson. Beautiful building, as you can see. And man, we're going up a bit of a hill, but what a view. Jackson out in front of us. Summertime, always a lot of cars. Beautiful day, can't blame them. Oh, look at this. Man, those moose. Oh, and look at that. Beautiful job they did on those sculptures. Oh, what a view. They couldn't have picked a better spot to have an art center. I guess these are totem poles. You know, there has been fires around here, and if you look, you're able to get it to stop right before the art center. But this hill, I guess with lightning, I'm assuming, just kind of went right around it here. And what did we learn yesterday, Grace, about, was it the brush grass that they have in here? It does tend to catch fire? cheatgrass, that's right. The Forest Service thought they did a great job by bringing it in, and now they're saying, well, maybe not so much. Kind of chokes things out, and also, besides being invasive, it does catch fire.
Air is mostly methane, so think cow farts. It's got carbon dioxide and ammonia, not very much oxygen. Despite all of this, you are not standing on a dead planet. Thank you for taking that little trip back to 3 billion years ago. That was true, by the way. As far as scientists can determine, that was the state of things on planet Earth 3 billion years ago. So what is about to change here? It has everything to do with those living cells under the surfaces of the ocean, because just a few of those living cells are about to start to do something that no living thing on Earth has ever done before. Ever. And I need 3 volunteers to help figure out what this is. Think of what is going to come out of that box, and I want you guys to use your powers on this cell. And only by using your powers are we going to find out what we make in this chemical reaction. Are you guys ready?
We are ready.
Okay. Okay. You got to really try.
Oh, I'm going to really try.
Okay. Ready, set, go. Oh, come on.
What a awesome one!
All right. Thank you.
Little one.
Ta-da!
Chocolate? Oh!
Sugar. I just made sugar out of light, carbon dioxide, and water.
Go figure.
Go figure. Does anyone know what I just did?
Chemistry. Good job, you.
Come on, think back to high school biology. There's a name for this. Photosynthesis. Thank you so much. Give me a round of applause for photosynthesis. Thank you so much. Time went on, and more tiny cells started to photosynthesize, and they produced more and more oxygen. Eventually, all that iron got used up, and the ocean started to fill with oxygen. And instead of being red, they turned blue like they are today, and then the oxygen started to enter the atmosphere, and it displaced the methane. Because instead of having all these methane producing organisms, all of a sudden we had oxygen producing organisms. Instead of being pink, the skies turned blue. Which, you know, sounds pretty great, right? The Great Oxygenation Event. Number 2, the Great Oxygenation Catastrophe.
Ooh.
And we know some of the very first survivors of this Great Oxygenation Catastrophe were tiny, single-celled organisms, probably a lot like algae today. Has anyone seen green scum on a pond? Yes. Alright, for billions of years, that's what we had. We had tiny single-celled organisms photosynthesizing and making sugar out of water and sun and carbon dioxide. And then, about 485 million years ago, we started seeing plants with more than one cell. They probably look like moss. Has anyone here seen moss? That was 485 million years ago. Just about 20 million years later, we got plants with some internal plumbing, which is great. All of a sudden, you can bring water from the roots all the way up to the top of the plant, which was a breakthrough. All of a sudden, you have plants that are higher than about this. This is called a horsetail. Now, it looks like grass, but I'm going to pass it around so you can look at it real close. It doesn't really look like grass. And there's this funky thing on the top. It's called a strobilus. Now, you're never going to see a horsetail flower. The strobilus exists to make spore. And these early seeds came from pine trees. And from cycads and from ginkgos, but mostly from pine trees and fir trees and spruce trees and trees we know today. And these kinds of trees are all called gymnosperms. And that's a word I'm going to get you to remember. Anyone know their Latin here? Or their Greek, I guess? Gym means naked, and sperm means seed. It's a naked seed plant. Has anyone ever taken a big juicy bite out of a pine cone? Yeah, right? Naked seed. It doesn't have any of that nice tasty stuff on the outside that we're used to seeds having, right? Like apples and oranges. 130 million years ago, a new kind of plant started using animals to move around the pollen, so it didn't have to wait till it was windy to have kids. What's the point of a flower? What's the point of investing all your energy in this big, brightly colored, smelly thing full of sugar water? It's a pretty serious investment for a plant. It's a big billboard that says, insects, I have sugar water, please come and carry my pollen around. Now, it's not just plants that are using animals to carry their pollen around. Has anyone here ever picked a blueberry off a trail and eaten it?
No.
No, not ever?
No.
Oh, well, I think that would be a good idea maybe sometime. The only reason berries are sitting there full of sugar, what's the point of a berry?
Eat and transport seeds.
Oh, seeds. So not only did these new plants figure out how to get animals to carry their pollen around, they figured out how to get animals to carry their seeds around. Because think about it. If you're a black bear and you eat a really tasty raspberry and then you walk a mile that direction and you make a nice little bear poop, all of a sudden you just brought that seed a mile away and deposited it in a nice pile of fertilizer, and the raspberry bush is pretty excited about that. So these new kinds of plants, they're not called gymnosperms. What do gymnosperms mean?
Naked seed.
These are called angiosperms, which basically just means container seed or vessel seed, because they're putting their seeds inside something else as a tool to get them moved around places. And the world we live in today is full of angiosperms. How many people think they might have eaten an angiosperm today? How many people, leave your hands out as I say this list, how many people have had coffee today? How many people have had fruit today? Leave your hands up. How about peanuts? Leave your hands up. Chocolate? Has anyone not had an angiosperm today? You maybe haven't had. What have you eaten today?
Watermelon.
Watermelon's an angiosperm. Why do you think watermelon tastes good?
I don't know.
It's so the animals will eat it just like us. So not only is the world we live in today, the sagebrush and the cottonwood trees and the aspen trees and all this stuff are angiosperms, we're also literally full of angiosperms.
Have you been to California? Seen the sights and people there? Walked the streets of sleepy sea towns, tasted salty ocean air.